Welcome into A Toast of Film. I'm one of your hosts, Ebo, and we had to change plans a little bit. Trey Spence, they're a little under the weather, so stay tuned. We will make up to you with our companion review. But on today's episode, I threw together a nice little ditty for y'all. So we will be reviewing Presents, a new theatrical release ghost film, Love Me, a experimental film. We'll touch more on that. Also, we got Mr. Snail's pick of the week, which was the Thicket this week. And I also have top 5 movies in February you need to go to the theater for. But guys, we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening. However you take in, we appreciate. And this week, I am toasting with the Two Hearted IPA. It's an American IPA from Bell's. It's been said many times on this show, I am not the biggest IPA guy. However, I will say this goes down fairly smooth for an IPA. It still has that IPA-ness about it that I'm not the biggest fan of personally. However, this, not bad. We have had a lot, I don't know what it is with those hops and the pops, and they just hit you right in the back of the throat. I don't know. But this one's not bad. It's got a nice little fish on it. And stay tuned because you'll be hearing about this more when we do our review for Hard Eyes. But let's go ahead and get into some movies. So we got Presents. So this is from the team that made this. Yeah. I mean, most people would kill. So we got director Steven Soderbergh, who brought us a lot of things. But 3 films I'm personally a fan of. Side Effects, great little movie. Contagion, good movie. Haywire, good movie. So, accomplished director. And I mean, the writer, David Koepp, writer on the first Jurassic Park, the first Spider-Man, Zathura, Indiana Jones 4 and 5. So he's been, writing. And basically, this is a haunted house film told from the ghost point of view. So it's a lot of where the camera is doing all the work. So you're going down the stairs as this presence is going down the stairs, or the presence is in the closet while people are, doing whatever. So you have all this kind of like shorts, because you're being told from the ghost, the present, the spirit, whatever you want to call it. You're being told from its point of view, and we don't know why it's in this particular house. It's this family moves in, and you kind of get shorts where you'll get a 1 to 5 minute scene, and then it fades to black, and then we go forward in time, and it just keeps doing that. And I'm not a fan of the fade to black aspect of it. I thought it was just kind of more annoying than anything, for me at least. I do appreciate the idea from the ghost point of view, and I like it to an extent. My problem is as either just some kind of directorial choice, maybe to emphasize how lonely it is for this spirit. There's a lot of nothing happening, just camera slowly moving through the empty house. Scenes like that where I don't know about. My biggest gripe with this movie is the reveal. When they reveal the origin of the presence, it doesn't work for me with everything we went through on this journey with the presence. In this movie, we got Kalina Liang as Chloe and Chris Sullivan as Chris. So basically, it's a daughter, brother, husband, wife. And the daughter, Chloe, and the dad, Chris. Let me tell you, those two crushed it. Kalina Liang, she was so good as Chloe, as our lead. And then Chris Sullivan was really bringing a lot, where he's like, okay, you really like this dad. He has a couple of really good, emotional scenes. Lucy Liu plays the mom Rebecca. Eddie Madej plays the brother Tyler. Uh, those characters didn't really work for me. They're just kind of egotistical jerks. I don't know, just didn't work. I will say there's a scene where Lucy Liu has a scream. It made me jump out of my seat because it was so haunting. Like, I mean, it was like something out of for those who have seen it, the Boy in Striped Pajamas, where the mom has that scream. I mean, she just lets out this blood curdling scream, and I was just like, "Oh God!" Like it really gets to you. Um, like I said, Clean Liang and Chris Sullivan, incredible acting. I really like the idea of from the ghost point of view. I just think sometimes with these ideas, you can make a short because I think if this had been a short, this would have been one heck of a short. Really cool idea. But when you're trying to fill out a theatrical release film, like maybe if it had been streaming, but a theatrical release film, and you get just too much because you're trying to pad the runtime. I don't know. This one, and you're going to see this with both my films I'm reviewing tonight. Presence, I would give like a 3 out of 5 cheers. I think it's a very enjoyable film. I think a lot went into it, but it's not a fun watch, and it's not one I can recommend to a lot of people. So, Presence, 3 out of 5. When it comes to streaming, check it out, especially if you have a 2-story house. I think you'll dig it. All right, next up, oof. Okay, I'm interested in this one. This is Love Me. So this is from writer and director Andrew and Sam Lucero, and two people. That's it in this movie. Kristen Stewart is Me. Me is a AI buoy, like a buoy in the water. Yep, yeah, robot, like AI robot buoy. And Stephen Yoon is I Am, who is a satellite, an AI satellite. And humanity's gone, for millions, billions of years after Great War. And so you got a buoy and a satellite falling in love. This movie is, if I could describe one word, experimental. They very much experimental with their idea on this. So a lot of the movie is made with memojis. I didn't know what that was, but my buddy Eric, who I dragged to the movie, he explained to me it's something with like iPhones where you can create your own little characters. So this movie where this satellite and buoy are falling in love, it says a lot about, I'm not gonna say says, okay, it's in its attempt. It's saying a lot about social media. It's saying a lot about relationships, saying a lot about AI. It has all these different ideals. And my issue is that it never comes to fruition on anything. But it's just one of these things where there's a lot of good intent with the acting, but then at the end of the day, okay, film is art. But sometimes people have to remember with their art, they're also making a movie. You get stuff like this, you get stuff like The Brutalist, and everyone wants to show how clever they are, how much of an auteur they are, how experimental they are. But at the end of the day, like, isn't that we want a movie so people can enjoy? And hey, there's different tastes. Some people like this, some people like that. Love Me, I think the performances I enjoyed Kristen Stewart and Stephen Yeun. And like I said, I really do like some of the ideas, but once again, just like with the presents, if this was a short, I think they really, when you're stuck in the 10 to 30-minute range, or even, 40-minute range, I think it really allows you to take this creative idea or endeavor and show it without having to do so much filler and just kind of bore folks. So, Love Me, I appreciate it. I know a lot of people, I really don't know where people, my friend Eric hated it. So, if he's any indication of your general audience, then I don't know. But Love Me, a lot of people aren't going to like it. I somewhat liked it. I'll give it a 2.8 out of 5 cheers. I don't love it. I don't even like it too much, but I do appreciate some of the aspects of it. But let's get to something more important. Let's get into Mr. Snail's pick of the week. Still trying to find Mr. Snail. I don't know where Boogans ran off with him, but we still have his dice, so we're going to make things nice. So, this week's pick was The Thicket, which was available on Tubi. Tubi original. We love a Tubi at A Toast to Film. And this is from director Elliot Lester. We got Juliette Lewis, who I'm a huge fan of. I really am. As a Cutthroat Bill. We got Esma Creed Miles as Lula Parker. We got Levin Hawke as Jack Parker. That's the son of Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman. We have Peter Dinklage as Reginald Jones. And we have Binga Akingnaby as Eustace Hollow. So, essentially, brother and sister, they're traveling with their grandfather. They get held up by these folks. Sister gets kidnapped. Brother's going to do whatever it takes to get her back and gets the bounty hunters. Not really bounty hunters. They're more like just like two dudes that want some money. This movie, I'm not a crazy Western fan. This movie is a prime example of when I say a Western that I don't like. It's bland. It's slow paced, just boring. It's just nothing to write home about. And the worst thing is the Cutthroat Bill character from Juliette Lewis is terrible. And I like Juliette Lewis. I think she's usually pretty good. She does very well with comedies. But with this, it's so bad, man. And Peter Dinklage, he's fine. He's always fine. Everyone else is fine. The Hawk Kid, the girl, Esma Creed Miles, she's fine. But this movie, it's just boring, and it's one where I'm like, there's so many better Westerns. I mean, even some of the remakes, like the 310 to Yuma remake, the True Grit remake, some of the originals, things like the Three Godfathers. There's so many better Westerns that I don't know if this has anything that's worth your time. Mr. Snell's pick of the week, The Thicket. I'm going to give it a generous 2.3. 2.2 out of 5 cheers. I feel it's got to be under 50%. It's boring. There's a lot of bad performances. It's just not good. It's not well put together. Don't love it. But that brings us to something more exciting. Hopefully, I feel like some of the picks of the week, we've been on some stinkers, but hey, you never know what the dice is going to give you. So this week, the films we have Mads, Murder Party, double feature, Fire and Ice, The Royal Hotel, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Invaders from Proxima B, Babes, My Choice, Chompy and the Girls, Don't Move, Kneecap, Blood and Black Lace, Beast Within, Trauma, Tourist Trap, The Unexpected Race, The Incredible Bulk, Electric Dreams, and Back in Action. All right, I have the dice, guys. I'm going to roll. We're going to see. Put 13. All right. So this is Blood and Black Lace. My buddies over at the Horror Fight podcast, they were the ones that told me about this. It's available on AMC Plus and Shudder, I do believe. So follow along with us. Blood and Black Lace. This is, oh man, I'm blanking on it. It's an Italian horror genre. I'm completely blanking on the name, but Blood and Black Lace. Check it out with us. stay tuned. 2 weeks from today's episode, we'll review a next Mr. Snail's Pick of the Week. But before we get out of here, it's time for the top 5 movies you need to check out in February. So I had to do an honorable mention, no big deal, but I had to throw a little Love Hurts, Kihei Kwan, Ariana DeBose. I'm excited. I think that movie's going to be hysterical. I think it's going to be a great time. Also, Paddington Bear, Paddington in Peru, hitting theaters soon. Very excited. I love that little bear. He's so polite. The movies are so full of warmth. I am interested because Emily Mortimer is switching out the role of Miss Brown. She's Miss Brown in this one now. She wasn't in the first two. So I'm interested to see Emily Mortimer. Hilarious, really good at playing endearing characters, which is what Paddington needs. Antonio Banderas is the villain. Very excited to see. But let's get into the top 5 movies you need to see in February. Number 5, I gotta start out. Captain America: Brave New World. The MCU is not what it was. There's just no other way to say it. The Infinity Saga is something I don't know if will ever be recreated. To start at Iron Man, to go through all these films and culminate in Avengers Endgame, I don't know if it can ever be touched, period. But we have been without. We need MCU. We need a hit. We need a banger. Do I think it's going to be Captain America: Brave New World? No. I don't, if I'm being honest. And with reshoots, the reported budget is $400 million. That is a tall task for any film. The reason I'm saying it's number 5 is because I want you to think about all the times MCU got you through something tough. MCU has been there for us. Let's be there for the MCU. Me and Trey, we're going to be there opening night IMAX, like the good old days. And I'm hoping for the best. I love Anthony Mackie. He is one of my absolute faves. But I'm worried with the reshoots and everything, how this movie's going to be. But we'll see. Number 4, I got The Monkey, Osgood Perkins. Next little horror movie, Theo James. It looks crazy. It looks fun. We got Long Legs. Now, this is his next movie. I think it's going to be a crazy, zany, good time. Number 3, I'm probably the only person who cares about this. I've been very invested in this, though, for multiple years now. The Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up. This movie was in something we call, for like bad release news, we call production hell, where a movie is finished, it's having trouble getting distributions, it's having trouble being finalized, it's having trouble hitting theaters. This movie has been that for years, and they're finally releasing it. And I'm a huge Looney Tunes fan, and I just want to see this movie that caused such a hullabaloo about getting released. I just want to see it. That's it. At number 2, we have a family film from A24, Legend of Ochi. A24 has brought us some of the craziest horror movies and also some like very interesting dramas. But this looks like the most family-oriented film, unless I'm forgetting something. You had like Marcel the Shell, but other than something like that, which was kind of weird, this looks like a good old-fashioned family film. Little girl, there's these little, like, they almost look like little howler monkey things, but some of them are big. Tell you, some of them are big. And she has to like get this little one back to his pack. Looks like it's going to be a really good movie. Willem Dafoe's in it, looking crazy. Is it even an A24 film if Willem Dafoe's not looking crazy? Just saying. But number 1, I guess you can have 2 hearts, because my number 1 most anticipated is Hard Eyes. Brought to us by Josh Rubin, somebody we've talked about on the pod before. Huge fan. Josh, we'd love to have you on the show. Hard Eyes looks like what me and Trey love about slasher films. It looks fun. It looks gory. I love the scene where the killer does like a smile with the blood smear. I can't be more excited. It comes out this week. We'll have an episode. Stay tuned. But guys, we just hope you've enjoyed the episode. Let me know what you think. Have you seen The Thicket? Have you seen Presence? Have you seen Love Me? On some of that, I'm sorry if you have, but maybe you loved it, or maybe you did hate it, or maybe you think Captain America Brave New World is going to be the best MCU movie. Well, whatever you think, here's the best ways you can let us know. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok, A Toast to Film, all one word, or check us out on beautiful YouTube, where you're watching me now. I am Knuff. Thanks, little baby. And also, make sure we're very active on Twitter at film_toast. And from Trey and myself, we just wish you a good night and good viewing.